Hello, here is the news at this hour from TSTV. I am Olaide Amosu. Here are some major headlines. Don't reopen schools yet, IBADAN NBA cautions MAKINDE. Lagos suspends reopening of worship centers, event centers. AJIMOBI takes over APC, promises NEC meeting. And on the foreign scene, UK researchers list drug as likely COVID-19 cure. And in sports, BARCA brush aside LEGANES to turn up heat on Real Madrid. Now the news in details. IBADAN branch of the Nigerian Bar Association (NBA) has cautioned Governor MAKINDE against the reopening of schools in the state. The association made the plea in a press statement signed by its chairman, Barrister Oluwole Akitayo, on Wednesday. Reports have it that Governor MAKINDE had on June 15 ordered the resumption of Primary 6, SS3 and SS3 students in the state. According to the statement, even though the association understands that the rationale for the resumption of above categories of students is to enhance their preparation for forthcoming state and national examinations. The decision to announce the resumption of the final year students, which was based on the assumption that in the next 2 weeks, COVID-19 would be eliminated or reduced to the barest level, may be a very ambitious expectation. The Federal High Court in Lagos yesterday said that the former Oyo State Governor, Rashidi Ladoja, allegedly did not return his share of the funds he received from sale of the state's shares. Ladoja is on trial for allegedly converting 4.7 billion naira from the state's treasury to his personal use, an allegation which he denied. An EFCC investigator, Abubakar Madaki, who testified, averred that the former governor gave instructions in 2007 that the shares worth 6.6 billion naira be sold at discounted rates without the Executive Council's resolution. The witness said the money allegedly went to Ladoja, his family and friends. The shares were acquired by Macleay Securities, Madaki said. In the course of investigation, about 500 million naira was recovered from Macleay Security, Fountain Securities and other stockbrokers and remitted to the Oyo State government, except the money head and vehicle that Ladoja got, which he claimed he would return but never did. Madaki also said the Nigeria Stock Exchange launched an investigation into how Oyo State shares were sold. The EFCC accused Ladoja and Akanvi of converting Oyo State's 1,932,940,032 naira and 48 kobo to their personal use through the Guarantee Trust Bank account of a company, Heritage Apartments Limited. The alleged offence contravenes Section 17A and 18(1) of the Money Laundering Prohibition Act 2004, punishable under Sections 14(1), 16A(b) and 18(2). Ladoja and Akanbi pleaded not guilty. The Lagos State government has rolled back its earlier decision to partially reopen churches and mosque viewing and relaxation centres in the Centre of Excellence. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu announced the indefinite suspension of his earlier order to worship centres to resume services during the 15th News Conference at the State House Marina, where he gave an update on Lagos coronavirus response. Besides, Sanwo-Olu said the government will soon conclude on protocols to reopen basic and secondary schools in the state, noting that meetings were ongoing with stakeholders. He said online learning already adopted by the state-owned tertiary institutions and secondary schools will continue until stakeholders agree on the protocols for school resumption. But for the new directive, obligatory services would have resumed in Lagos mosques and churches on June 19 and 21 respectively. Religious bodies, local chapter of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, and the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, PFN, and the Chief Imam of Lagos, Sheikh Sulaiman Oluwatoyin Abunola, reacted to the new order. The CAN Secretary, Israel Akinadewo, and the Chief Imam pitched tent with government position. The PFN State Chairman, Bishop Shalaore, deferred, expressing sadness over the turn of event. The decision, Sanwo-Olu said, was in line with the government's evaluation of evolving scenarios regarding the cause of the COVID-19 infection in the state and the corresponding public health advisory guidelines issued by experts. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control record shows that Lagos, with 7,319, has the highest confirmed COVID-19 cases in the country. The All Progressive Congress APC on Tuesday elevated Senator Abiola Ajimobi to serve as its acting national chairman after the Court of Appeal upheld the suspension of Adams Oshiomhole. Senator Ajimobi was the party's deputy national chairman for the southern region and is a former governor of Oyo State. In a statement signed by party spokesman Malam Lanre Isano Nilu, late Tuesday, the APC said its National Working Committee had been guided by the party's legal department in line with the provisions of its constitution. According to Section 14.2 of the APC Constitution, the Deputy National Chairman, North, South, shall act as the National Chairman in the absence of the National Chairman from his zone, the statement said. The Court of Appeal earlier on Tuesday had upheld the suspension of erstwhile National Chairman Oshiomhole by an Abuja High Court. Speaking on Tuesday night through his Special Advisor, Communication and Strategy, Bolaji Tunji, Ajimobi promised to summon the National Executive Committee meeting to resolve all contending issues in the party. He sued for peace among stakeholders and members across the various strata of the party. Moving on to the foreign scene, researchers from Oxford University, United Kingdom, have achieved a breakthrough in finding a drug to cure COVID-19. According to the British Broadcasting Corporation, the researchers noted that dexamethasone, a cheap and widely available drug, could help save the lives of patients seriously ill with coronavirus. The researchers said the drug was part of the world's biggest trial testing of existing treatments to see if they also worked for coronavirus, as it cut the risk of death by a third for patients on ventilators, and for those on oxygen, it cuts deaths by a fifth. Had the drug been used to treat patients in the UK from the start of the pandemic, up to 5,000 lives could have been saved. The drug is already used to reduce inflammation in a range of other conditions, including arthritis, asthma, and some skin conditions. It appears to help some stop of the damage that can happen when the body's immune system goes into overdrive as it tries to fight off coronavirus. The UK government has 200,000 courses of the drug in its stockpile and says the National Health Service will make dexamethasone available to patients. The UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson said there was a genuine case to celebrate a remarkable British scientific achievement. Still on the foreign scene, the United States on Tuesday exposed 6 Nigerians over alleged internet fraud worth more than $6 million. According to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the suspects are Richard Uzu, Michael Oloriyomi, Alex Ogunshaki, Felix Okbo, Nnamdi Benson, and Abiola Kayode. In a statement on its website, the U.S. Department of State and the 6 persons manipulated their victims to gain access to their sensitive information and financial resources. They explained that they targeted American businesses and individuals using business email compromise and romance fraud, while impersonating American business executives, requesting and receiving wire transfers from their accounts. It added that they targeted women, especially those who had just lost a spouse, deceiving them with affection through calls and constant chats until they gained their trust and swindled their unsuspecting victims. The U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo also warned that the U.S. will not tolerate such gross misuse of technology, and that the United States will use all of the tools at its disposal to defend the American people and businesses from malign actors that seek to target them, including cyber-enabled actors who prey on vulnerable Americans and businesses. Moving to the exciting world of sports, Lionel Messi was rugby tackled and then scored a penalty as Barcelona put the pressure back on Real Madrid by easing to a 2-0 victory over Leganese at an empty Camp Nou on Tuesday. Messi was hurled to the ground in the first half by a diving Unai Bostinza, wrapping 2 arms around his waist. He was knocked over again in the second, this time earning a penalty, which he coveted. After 33 appearances, Messi now has 26 goals this season. In his last 8 games, he has 7 goals and 8 assists. The 17-year-old Ansu Fati had earlier given Barcelona the lead, continuing his breakthrough season with a 5th goal in the 8 league starts. Leganese could have made the reigning champions feel uncomfortable if Miguel Angel Guerrero had taken either of 2 golden early opportunities, but the first was cleared off the line and the second denied by the post. Valencia will be a more thorough examination of Madrid's sharpness after the 3-month break, and BARCA can expect tougher tests to come than Leganese too, starting with a trip to 3rd place Sevilla on Friday. And Britain's government on Tuesday bowed to demands by Manchester United footballer Marcus Rashford to change its policy on free school meals for the poorest children, amid growing concerns about the impact of the coronavirus lockdown on low-income families. The England international drew on his own experience of growing up in poverty to lead an impassioned campaign for the program to be extended through the summer holidays. Prime Minister Boris Johnson's government had initially resisted making the change, which would see 1.3 million children in England receive vouchers for an extra 6 weeks. But as the story dominated the headlines and opposition MPs and members of his own Conservative Party backed Rashford, Johnson gave in, thereby providing a COVID summer food fund. This would provide food vouchers covering the 6-week holiday period. Rashford, who's 22, won widespread praise from politicians, charities and education leaders for his campaign. He said he was proud to have helped give a voice to vulnerable parents. You'd recall the striker had written to Johnson and MPs, and on Tuesday wrote in the Times newspaper that he understood personally how much free school meals mattered to children receiving them. With that, we've come to the end of the news. A recap of the headlines. Don't reopen schools yet, IBADAN NBA cautions MAKINDE. Lagos suspends reopening of worship centers and event centers. AJIMOBI takes over APC, promises NEC meeting. On the foreign scene, UK researchers list drug as likely COVID-19 cure. In the exciting world of sports, BARCA brush aside Leganese to turn up heat on Real Madrid. As the world eases out of lockdown, kindly ensure to take all advice and precautions as given by health workers. The news was compiled by Mobola Badekale. I am Olaide Amosi. Good day and thank you for watching.